heritage. ABN, we bring the best. African, it's Africa. Broadcasting Network. Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. Entertainment, education. African Broadcasting Network. Oh yeah. Information, cultural values. African Broadcasting Network. ABN, celebrating Africa's rich cultural.
And listeners at home, thanks for joining us on this program. Let's talk. Today we are talking about the fantastic questions. And before I go to that program, the main purpose of the day, my name is Kenny Afolabi. Last week we talked about the youth nowadays, and today we are talking about another fantastic question. We talk about the 3 S's of this youth and what is the youth perspective on leadership, and we're also talking about what ways we use engagement in Nigerian democratic vice in the engagement of this social media. And firstly, the main purpose of this program, what do we mean by this youth leadership? What do we mean by this youth leadership? Is the practice of these teens exercising authority over themselves or others. We can also say youth leadership has been elaborated upon as a theory of youth development in which young people gain skills and knowledge necessary to lead civil engagement, education reforms, and community organizing. And today we are talking about what are the perspective and what are the 3 C's, which is the commitment, the comparative, and the community, the confidence, the 3 C's of this leadership. We are talking about the 3 C's, and we are going to explain what are those things and how can a leader be a youth perspective. And what are the ways this social media can participate in this case of this social media with the issue of this youth nowadays. So what has this, that there is a low adherence to democracy norms among youth in developing nations. And what are these ways, the principle of this youth leadership and the meaning of these 3 C's. We also have the 3 C's, we have the 4 C's in leadership, and what are the meaning and what are these the principle divine to, and what are those 3 meanings of these 3 C's and the 4 C's. And we are also going to talk about the ways with which low adherence to democracy norms among youth in developing nations. What are these ways can you improve these democratic norms among youth in developing nations? And we also talk about what are the perspective of this youth leadership in youth participation in lead. And we are also going to talk about the 3 CM method, which is the competence, the commitment, and the strong characters in this leadership, youth leadership. And before we go to the main purpose of this program, we have our fantastic quest, which is going to discuss more about what is the meaning of this leadership and the perspective of this leadership in youth nowadays, and the participation of this political participation in this youth nowadays. And we are also going to define what the 3 C's and the 4 C's of this leadership in youth participation. And before we come back to the main purpose of this program to invite our guests in, we are going to go for a break to invite our guests in to discuss more about these situations.
Discover the uniqueness in the entertainment industry. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, is now the pace setter in the industry. Do you want to advertise your product and services? Count on us. We will do it much more than your expectations. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, will deliver quick and prompt services. Our quality and clarity stands us out when it comes to delivering quality broadcasting. Our staffs are hardworking and versatile in the specific field of office. Our environment is so conducive and we are open to all. We also give advice on how to run your business profitably. African Broadcasting Network is situated at
9894 Eastern Street, Suite 875, Houston, Texas 77036.
Contact phone 281-652-8396 and
832-490-8203.
Website www.abntvnetwork.com. ABN, celebrating Africans' rich cultural heritage.
We bring in our guest, which is also a youth, Miss Ayodele Phoebe. Thanks for joining us on this program. So the first question we have for you there, what is the youth perspective on leadership?
Let's say youth perspective on leadership often emphasize inclusive innovations. Okay. So many youth perspective is it innovate and emphasize some things about many things that we don't know in this community, and it also make your young people to emerge actively. They believe they are leaders. It makes them to believe they are leaders in such a way that they will emerge actively in some things that they don't know about.
Okay, so that's a nice question. And what do you mean by we talk about the youth leadership what are this meaning of this youth leadership?
A youth leader is a young person or an adult who guides people in a way that they will also know that this person is guiding us in a way that, we are going to be successful. And there are some youth leaders that they guide in a way that they won't, let's say,
let them to enable to gain more knowledge.
And they also motivate them, they influence them in such a way that they will also have another thing in their mind that, if I also have this thing to what I'm already doing before, it will make sense and it will make me prosper in everything I'm doing. And they also they do festival. They also make sure they do festival sometimes. It might be every 6 months or every year. So that is what a young...
So what are these principles of this youth leadership in this participation?
I would say integrity.
Okay.
So they've been honest and mentally upright.
Okay.
They are, let's say, they must be honest in a way that the ones that are their back will say, this man is a man. Yes. And also, I would say responsibility.
Okay.
The youth leader must be responsible. And if he's responsible, that means the people that he's talking to will also be responsible. And also, I would say vision. He must have vision in such a way that, let's say, this thing I want us to do this thing. And if he's responsible, as I say, so, if some youth leaders, they will say, let's do this thing. And the people will say, no, I'm not doing it. Because maybe the step that he has been taking is not right.
Okay.
So they won't even say, I'm not. No. But if he's responsible and he has this thing that they call integrity. So his integrity is intelligent, brilliant, and he fulfills whatever he's saying. They will also say, we'll follow this man. So if he says something now, no one will say no. All of them will say yes.
Okay. So the three principles we may mention of the integrity, responsibility and vision. So those are the three principles of this youth leadership to be in this leadership. So another one is that what are the 3 CS? You know that in leadership we have 3 CS of leadership. So can you please mention and highlight those 3 CS in leadership?
The one is self-awareness.
Okay.
Which is the second one is service, and the third one is support.
Okay.
The self-awareness, he must know his strengths and weakness. He must know his strengths and weakness. So when he gets to the points that he will face the world, he won't even say, let's say, I want to do this, I want to do that. So he must also know his strengths and weakness, where he lacks behind and where he's supposed to be. And the service, he must look forward to everything in the whole community or in the whole society.
Pertaining to youth.
Yes, pertaining to youth. So he must look forward, he must have this mentality that, I am looking forward to these things so that my youth
will gain more
knowledge or have these things they lack. So, and the support, he must be able to support. Because supporting them will even bring them to say, we want this man. We don't want him or her to leave this position. But if you don't support, they won't even say, we are not doing again. We are not doing again at all. But if you support them, they will. Yes, if they come to you that, our leader, we want this to happen, we want that to happen. You support them 100%. They won't say they are not doing again. They won't say they are not following again. But if they come to you and they say, we need this, we need that, and you say, leave my front, I don't have this, I don't have that. Or maybe you say, in the next 2 years, I will do that. This is not the right time for us to do it. That's improper. So he must be able to support his leaders that are upcoming, so that they will also be good example to the leaders that are even behind them.
Okay. So support, services, self-awareness. So those are the 3 Cs of youth leadership. So another one is that in what ways we use engagement in Nigeria democratic process via social media contribute to a main engaged and informed democratic system?
It raises awareness on political and social media. Raising awareness on political and social media. So when you raise awareness on social or political media, it will even enlighten some that are using medias or using social medias to search for things. So if you raise awareness on political or social media, that's one. And also it holds leaders accountability.
Okay.
Holding leaders accountability is also part of it. And I would say, it encourages civil participation. It's encouraged civic participation. So that's all I can say.
Okay. So another one is that why is it that there is low adherence to democratic norms among youth in developing this nation?
Let's say lack of political education or awareness.
Okay.
Some lack political education and some also lack awareness. It's not all the youths that are using big phone.
Yes.
Some are still using small phone. So then those using small phone, they won't even know what is happening or what should be done. So they won't even know what is happening or what should be done in such a way that will maybe enlighten them on social medias. So that is one. And also, exclusive from decision-making processes. They will be exclusive from maybe making decisions on themselves. You know, there are some leaders that has PA.
Yes.
So even if he's not ready, even if he's not around, the PA will be around for him. So maybe the PA doesn't know who to be there in the meeting. So they won't, he or she won't even know that, okay, this person is here, this person did not come, this person. So they lack exclusive awareness about that. And number 3, influence of ethnic or religion delusion.
Okay.
It influences some things and it doesn't influence. So let's say influence of ethnic delusion, and some are Muslims while some are Christians. Those Muslims won't have the mentality that the Christians have.
Okay.
The Christian might say, okay, let's do it like this. The Muslim might say, no, we're not going to do it like that. Because Muslims and Christians, they say they are not worshiping the same God. But we are worshiping the same God. But the way we call it is different.
Okay.
That's the only thing. The way we call the God is different. They may say Allah, we say God. So if we have some things like that, that group won't even, let's say, expand or move forward. So that's the thing I can say about that.
Okay. So another one is that. So I think that's the last question.
Yes.
So you made mention of the social media and awareness. They should create social media and awareness with the issue of the social media page, the YouTube. With so many, I will also suggest that they should also create awareness with the use of these flyers.
Yes, they can do that.
So with the use of that, those people that do not have big phone, they will issue no awareness of this handbill, their flyers, so they will also gain that something is going on.
Yes.
So that is number 1, create awareness on social media page. Another one is that they should also, the ethnicity of this division of this ethnicity, there must be a support or unity between these 2 tribes of this religion, the Muslim and Christians. So there must be a unity and support. So those are the things in which the low adherence can also be incurred in this youth participation on this youth leadership. So that is all what we have for you in this program inside Let's Talk. And we meet us next time, same time next week. My name is Kenny Afolabi. I'm a colleague.
My name is Ayodele.
And if you'd like to watch us live and direct on our social media page, you can watch us on our social media page. We have the YouTube, we have the Facebook, we have the Twitter, we have the Instagram. On our Facebook, you can like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click and follow us on our social media page, Abntv OSUN. And likewise on our YouTube, you can follow us on Abntv Nigeria. And we also have our Twitter, you can like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click on Abntv OSUN. And lastly, on our Instagram, you can click on Abntv Nigeria. And for those of you that are using TikTok, you can also follow us on Abntv Nigeria as well. My name is Kenny Afolabi once again.
My name is Ayodele Phoebe.
So see you next time, same time. Bye for now.
African Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. It's all about Africa. It's all about motherland. Celebrating rich cultural heritage. ABN, we bring the best. African. It's Africa.